So exciting. So exciting to be here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to CSEP Podcast, your local podcast where we highlight local folks that are doing different things that are helping make this community a better place. And today we have Ronnie. How are you, Ronnie?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for your patience. We've been here at the mystery shop setting up. They're also having other activities happening in the background, but we chose to do it right here. We wanted to set up around the beautiful record shop they have at the mystery shop, which brings me back to Ronnie. Ronnie, you have a history with the music scene here. You have a lot of history to share with us.
Yes.
Definitely tell us some of the highlights of what you would like to share with us today.
Well, I came to Ventura County in 1977.
Yeah.
And
from
Lompoc, California.
Lompoc, okay,
Mm-hmm.
right up north.
Yes, and I came here to go to high school at Ventura High, and that lasted about 5 minutes until I could take my test, and I was out.
You're out of there. 77. The times were pretty. That was like the end of the Vietnam War.
Right, right.
A lot of things were happening back then.
Yeah, there was a lot of change going on in different neighborhoods of our society.
Yeah.
And I lived on the avenue. And if it was a nice day at the beach, I was at the beach. And I remember coming to Oxnard a couple of times. It wasn't so easy to get there because Victoria did not go through. And so you had to take this roundabout way. And I left and I came back in 1980 for a summer, went to the Bay Area. And eventually I met my husband.
Yeah.
My ex-husband. And we were living in Ventura. I was back on the avenue.
This was in the 80s?
I just jumped the 80s.
Already?
No,
okay.
man, I just jumped through the 80s. Okay, in the 80s, okay. In 77, because I had been coming and going, because I'm a young girl.
Yeah.
And
right.
And I was fiercely independent.
I heard that one of your sons was telling me about the music scene, that you knew a lot of different folks, things that were happening at that time.
Yes, I had, in 1980, I met a young man. And we were together for a few years. He played guitar in a punk band.
Oh, wow.
Called the Explosive Broom Handles.
Wow.
And trying to get that
Explosive Broom Handles.
Yes, trying to get that into a marquee was, always a challenge. But we lived right there off of Seward and Thompson in a little duplex, and we had band rehearsal every night. We would come out. And I wasn't part of the band. I was just, his pretty girlfriend. And we would come out after rehearsal, and there'd be people on our lawn, listening to this music. And it was rough, and it was hard, and it was fast.
Yeah.
And
it was a mix-up from the disco stuff.
Oh, it was a complete departure.
Yeah.
It was a complete departure, and it was not new wave.
Right.
It wasn't heavy metal. It was hard, and it was loud, and it was gritty.
Yeah.
And sometimes vulgar.
Attitude.
Attitude. It was.
But also,
attitude.
that was a kind of sign of the times also that was happening. I mean, if we want to put it on a historical, like Reaganomics is happening. So young people are like rebelling in the ways that they feel through music at this point. I don't know. You tell me.
We all saw the erosion of the American promise.
Yeah.
During that time, the state hospitals were getting shut down. And we were starting to see some very sick people on the street that could not care for themselves.
Yeah. Dang, that was the shutting down of the Camarillo State Hospital that time.
And they were relying on the private sector to care for these people that could not care for themselves, and subsequently getting exploited. Because they were getting state funds to run a little house, so they'd take care of these people. It was just horrible. AIDS was starting to rear its ugly head.
People weren't realizing it was a real thing.
We didn't know it was a real thing.
Yeah.
And in the late 70s, early 80s, promiscuity was like no big deal.
Yeah, the 70s, man.
It was you were good to go. Nothing a penicillin shot couldn't fix.
Yeah, but once again, it had a lot to do with people not taking it serious. That like, hey, you know what, protect yourself. You know what I mean? All those precautions. It was like, no, it didn't become until an afterthought. right?
And,
When the
well,
AIDS
we
blew
started,
up.
yes, we started hearing about some of our friends, friend of friends, and someone
Dang.
getting sick. And it's like, he's not bouncing back. He's not. He's got pneumonia now, and he's
Yeah.
gonna die. And hearing about this thing called AIDS.
Yeah.
They didn't even call it HIV then. It was just AIDS.
Right.
You either had it or you didn't.
Right.
And
And if you did, you're done.
you were done. And it was a miserable death.
Right.
It was miserable. It was a lot of suffering. And our administration wasn't even talking about it.
In denial.
The biggest issue I had socially at the time,
Yeah.
my social, my axe to grind, if you will, was the arms race. We were just building so many weapons that we could just completely annihilate the earth.
Yeah, that's because
multiple
everybody
times.
was still like pumped up much as you can from the Cold War and everybody back and forth.
Reagan
like, we
was
got
on
bigger weapons.
Yes.
No, we got bigger
Yes,
weapons.
yes, my bomb is so big. Look how big my bomb is. And Reagan was just on such a power trip that it pissed me off. They're opening, I was working as a waitress downtown off California and Maine. And I was seeing these people come in that I hadn't seen out on the street, just wandering around aimlessly, like lost, because they were.
Yeah.
And, here we have this social problem, but boy, is he building some weapons,
Right.
And it pissed me off. It really, and it was frightening to me. I grew up on a base near Vandenberg Air Force Base, and very familiar with missiles and the mishaps, and it was just, and I know Dad would come home every night at 6 and they'd have the news on, and it was like Vietnam. They don't show that now.
Right.
In the 60s and 70s, Vietnam was on the news every night.
Which really, that's one of the reasons that people got so involved, on their day-to-day life and doing the whole anti-war movement at that time.
Right.
And that's why they don't want to let you see it now. They don't want you to know how crazy war is not a
It's
pretty
ugly.
picture. Yeah.
It's ugly, and we have worldview now with the internet. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Right now we do. Today. And if you really, really want to see what's happening in, say, Gaza or Ukraine, you can just go to Instagram, and
Right.
you're going to see some pretty gut-wrenching stuff. Just the level of suffering. Americans really don't have the stomach for war, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, and then so tell us your social, like you've been very active your whole life. Is this the reason because of your need to try to help make the world a better place?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've been socially aware for as long as I can remember. That's that's the environment that we were encouraged to be curious. Curiosity was intelligence.
So your whole life.
That was just like pounded into us. Curiosity is intelligence. That's how you learn things. But with that said, okay, I was writing like punk rock songs in the 80s about, weapons. And I wrote one particular one about Rip Van Winkle waking up in a park. And he's just counted as a homeless guy. Because look at him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any place to live,
Right.
but he fell asleep 100 years ago. So, it was one, me being waxing poetic.
Heck yeah. Was that was that your solo project or?
No, that was just me, idle time.
Yeah, that's
being
awesome.
Inspired by my guitar boyfriend. They did perform, my songs.
I think
But,
you should do that an
he
open
did.
mic night one of these nights.
No. I can't. No. But anyway, where I'm going with this is that I never showed up at a march. I never showed up in council chambers. I was not plugged in. I was just raging against the machine.
Yeah.
I was always questioning authority. I was just, I was aware. I was not active.
Yeah.
As time
You were
moved
active
on,
in your own way.
in my own way.
Yeah.
In my own way.
Right.
Now I'm very, very active.
I know.
I am very, very much plugged in. This is what I do every day. And let me back up a little bit.
Go for it.
When I came to Ventura County in 2013. I returned. And boy, has it changed. But
Yeah, hasn't
anyway,
it?
I was working for a Christian liberal arts college.
Uh-huh.
And I respected and admired the mission statement.
Uh-huh.
And I liked the people I worked with.
Yeah.
And then that guy came down that escalator and was just the most deplorable type of personality running for office. It was like a joke.
Uh-huh.
And I'm talking to some of my people at work, and I go, man, can you believe this guy actually thinks he's got a chance? You know, Hillary's going to clean him out.
Yeah,
and
right.
they went, I'm not there yet.
Uh-huh.
It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is a Christian environment, and you're not ready for Hillary, but you're going to go with this guy? I thought when he was making fun of the disabled reporter, that was going to sink his ship.
Yeah.
Because that was disgusting. I have 3 sons, and that's something that, oh man, you don't let me catch you making fun of somebody, okay, or being a bully or acting like a punk, which what he was. So anyway,
Yeah.
so now I'm working at this college.
Yeah.
And it's doing a slow decay. I'm doing it was quiet quitting.
Mm-hmm.
I was over it. I could not get out of that college fast enough.
Wow.
I could not get off campus. I had to get out of there. It was just too much.
Uh-huh.
They let Ben Shapiro come on campus to speak. It was unbelievable. It was awful. So I got out of there.
Yeah.
And I made every waking moment, every day, because I'm in a position, I am, every day I work to defeat Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is just poison in our well.
Uh-huh.
What really motivated me and that I really hang on to, and it's true, we got a message that the Muslim ban, remember that bullshit?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Can I cuss on this? Okay, well, I'm speaking freely. Anyway, okay, so, all right, we've got this Muslim ban going on.
Uh-huh.
And I find out they're not letting people off the plane in LAX. Well, guess what we're doing? We're
Yeah.
watching a movie.
Yeah.
We get in the car, and we ended up at LAX for 2 days.
Uh-huh.
All I wanted, the reason I went down there, I wanted the people on the plane to hear us and see us raising hell. Every time they open the door I want them to hear a roar outside. Like, I want them to, think, okay, it's breaking loose out there. I want them to know I'm here.
This was where again?
At LAX.
Wow.
This was in LAX
Wow.
during the Muslim ban.
Yeah.
And on the second day, they let a woman and her children off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I knew, oh, this is how we're going to do it. This is how it's going to happen. And historically, it's true. That's how women got the vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, social equality was because people demanded it. You don't get equality. You don't get justice. It's never given freely from people with power. The women's movement.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you a story.
Please.
My mother, Margaret Miranda, incredible woman. She had 5 kids. She didn't have a career while the kids were growing up. My dad provided for her. He loved her more than life. What she needed, he provided. What we needed, he provided. And then, throughout this, she was part of sororities and these social groups, like the 60s housewife, and they're always doing something for charity. And there was always something that was happening at the house where they're like, doing chocolates, to raise money for this or raise money for that. She was, a cheer mother, a band mother, a skate mother. She was involved. She was there.
This is Grandma.
This is, my mother,
Yes,
Grandma.
Grammy. Heck yeah.
Grammy.
Heck yeah.
I get newspapers.com during the COVID shutdown because I'm bored. I'm going to read old newspapers.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to look up articles about what Mom did because I know she contributed to the rec center. I know that she paid for a ramp that went into the gymnasium downtown. That she raised the money. She didn't write the check, but she raised the money.
Yeah.
Can't find it. And I thought, well, I'm looking for Dad, My dad was, a different story. Okay, so I'm going to find him. I find Mrs. Richard Miranda. She didn't have a name. I pull up these articles from 1970. Mrs. Richard Miranda and Mrs. Bruce Schumer did this or did that, or were here or were there, and there is their picture. She didn't even have a name. That pissed me off.
Yeah.
It's like, but it was
Everybody
the
else would
culture.
have got their full name, right?
She was Mrs. Richard Miranda. His name's in there.
Right.
He didn't have shit to do with that.
Yeah.
So,
Couldn't give her full credit, eh?
it just reminds me that these things, it was for the women's movement that stepped up and said, hey, we're people. These things are not given.
I think sometimes it's good for you to reshare, because I think sometimes, there's so much information. So,
Yeah.
I think sometimes we take those things for granted, like all the
do.
different things that you had to do to make things to not be Miss Richard, blah blah blah, Miranda.
There was a time, ultimately, my dad had multiple properties and stuff, and like mom, she didn't have her own bank account or anything. And at some point in the mid '80s, he put everything in her name, just to make her, like, you know what, Margaret, right here, let's, this is your account, this is my account.
She finally
and
got
this house is in your name.
She finally
and
got titles.
She got titles.
Wow.
She got titles, and
Good for her.
it wasn't because she sat there and was a good wife.
No, but it's crazy because it's like that's really was the sign of the times. Like that was happening everywhere. Everywhere, other grandmas were finally getting,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? You're finally getting an account.
And it's still happening
yeah.
in different places in the world, in different parts of the world. There's parts of the world where women are just now getting the right to drive a car. It's so foreign from me. When I first learned about, burqas,
Yeah.
and it's their religion. I respect that. Would that work for me? I don't. It's so far away from me. It's
Yeah.
so far away. My voice. I have a voice, and I have something to say, and we should all be able to say it. You can see I'm a small person. Okay, I'm 5 feet on the uphill. But I stand like I'm 6 foot when I need to, because my voice is just as big as the next guy.
Yeah.
And I use it. Even when I shouldn't. But with that said, so that's what got me here, to inspire me that, okay, this is what we got to do. We got to show up.
Yeah.
And I know that after that, I try to show up. I've been to many city council meetings to express my opinion and my support. And that was because after, the first time I walked into the Good Club, my youngest son, Stephen, was still in college.
Yes.
And the Good Club, by the way, is the Greater Oxnard Organization of Democrats. And it's an acronym. And he says, I'm going to go to this Democratic club. You should check it out. There's cool people there. So I go there, and it was right after Sandy Hook. And one of our speakers came in to show us what a bullet from an AR looks like, how big it is. And for comparison, he had a 22 and, different, variety of bullets. And it was powerful. And I thought, oh, wow, this is powerful. I went back again, and bit by bit, I got involved. And after I left the college, I just kept saying, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. You need me to put, 900 stamps on 900 postcards. If that postcard just turns one mind, that's all it takes. It's worth it, and if that one person tells 5 other people, we need to spread. And it's real easy to be a Democrat here. It's real easy. It's these faraway places where, I know it's not so easy. I can appreciate
Tell us
that.
some success stories that you have worked on with, in your social activism.
Well, I can tell you, I worked on Carmen Ramirez's campaign, and there was $1 million being spent to keep her out of her seat.
Yeah.
Big Oil did not.
Right, I remember.
They have more money than God. And
What a battle.
oh man.
So tell us any details. That sounds
Yeah.
like a good
Yeah.
some heavy stuff.
Yeah, well, the first campaign of hers I worked on was the city council Oxnard recall. The recall.
Yeah, the recall. I remember that.
And that was hitting the phones and inspiring other people to come on, just hit the phones. Watch how I do it. And it's intimidating because you're handed this script that you're supposed to say, "Hi, my name is Ronnie, and I'm calling from this for that." And just take the message and make it your own. Make it your own. So the recall was a challenge, but when she was running for supervisor, we were working real. That was in the COVID. We had an office down the street, and there was only like 3 of us that would work in there, and we all happened to be living in the same house. So it was. I called it our pod of people because we were all right, and we were doing phone calls, we were doing signs, we were doing letters, we were doing. And I'm working on this printer. I'm pumping out all these postcards. I'm trying to keep it fresh, okay? Because there's so much mail going out there. We're trying to keep it.
So your roommates and yourselves were all part of the political campaign.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm sure that was more hours than you would normally put because around the clock.
Yeah, we were eating lunch over there, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had run the place where. Later on when we were running the 2024 campaign, it was like, okay, I can't expect people to be here this late. This is, but everyone, there's a level of inspiration by example. And when others see you doing work and having fun with it and believing in it.
Oh, yeah.
They share a common belief with you.
It's addicting.
Yeah.
But in a great way. Like everybody's inspired, and that's what led to part of her success.
Right. And this
David
community,
could I say David and Goliath type of story?
That's exactly, that's what it felt like. And Oxnard loves her so much.
Yeah.
And this
Ventura County.
Yeah, and this was a county-wide race.
Yeah.
And we had an older gentleman. He was over 70 years old. He came in with a piece of mail that he got. He goes, "Can you believe what they're talking about with Carmen? They're lying on her." He was so upset. And it's like, yeah, we know here. You want to sign up here? You want to sign up here?
Yes.
He registered to vote for the first time that day.
Wow.
He never voted. And
She actually made him believe in the system.
Right. So he needed to shut this down. So that was very satisfying. That was so satisfying to win that one. It was so, and then Biden won, and that was so exciting because what got me into this was defeating the menace.
Right, that bully.
The bully. So I was ready to rock on that. That was awesome. And then we had midterms, and seeing the results. I remember when the Democrats took the majority in the House, I got to announce it to we had a viewing party. And I got on the mic and I said, "Hey, we just took the House. We got control of the House." And everybody's cheering because we're all there for the same thing. We're all drawn. We have a different way of doing it. And I work hard. Every day I try to get up and accomplish something. Even if it's like rearranging the furniture or, baking something or doing my laundry, you got to do something.
Yeah.
And I have skills that I've been able to transfer, because I was an office administrator. So
I was going to say, and I'm trying to figure a way of how to link this in, but the first way I met you was through your your young son, not your young son, your young man's son, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's both two of them, and then I heard the other one is even more politically active, but they're all very socially active,
Yes, yes.
artistic,
Yes.
people skills,
Yes.
and that all comes from you. You know what I mean? I think that, and then when I was mentioned that I wanted you to be on the podcast, they're like, yeah, there's so much for her to share, and I know that there's so much that they learned from you.
I'm so
first
happy
of all,
to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but first of all, thank you for everything you've done with yourself as a single mom.
Yeah.
If I could mention
Yeah.
that? But no, I mean, tell us a little bit of what inspired you. I mean, grandma for sure.
Oh, Grammy
I-
was the business. I tell you. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was. After all the kids left the house, she went on to work for the newspaper for 22 years.
Wow.
And she started as just answering the phone, and then ultimately got her own little article in the local paper. But that was her
Wow.
thing. That gave her
A voice.
personal fulfillment and a
For
voice.
sure, a voice,
Right.
and she was like,
Yeah.
I mean, what was her article about? Do you remember?
It was a social page.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
this
yeah.
society. She'd tell you about what's going on in town and who got married and these people had a party, and did I mention that my grandkids came to visit, and we have all those articles. It's awesome. It's really awesome because she'll be sometimes she talks about me, or she'll talk about my sister's wedding, or my clothing choice, because during that period of time I was wearing some weird shit.
So this was from the point of view of the grandma's article. Was that like?
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
she's like reflecting on
Yeah.
the new generation.
Yeah,
Oh, that must have
yeah.
been super
Oh, yeah.
super cute.
Yeah, the article is called Margaret Meanderings, and it's available at the Lompoc Record Archive, and I welcome you to go look it up.
That's cool.
I love her. As far as being a single parent,
Yeah.
let me be clear about something. I did not. No one plans to be a single parent. Well, verily, some people do, but verily, this life doesn't go as planned. I didn't even like kids. Okay, they bugged me. Okay, they're just snotty and grateful little filthy beast. And I met a man I loved. Really loved this guy. We got married, and having children was kind of a challenge for us, and we were blessed to have three sons.
Yeah.
But alcohol and substance abuse took him from us. And I say that with a sense of finality because he's not coming back. He's not dead, but he's not coming back. And we tried. I really tried to make it work, but it was a detriment to the family, to these kids. And it was never a question of love. He loved those kids.
Yeah.
He's sick. And there's a lot of sick people out there. There's a lot of sick people out there that they don't want to hurt anybody.
Right.
They don't want to destroy their family. But there's a compulsion. And they can't help it. And that makes it even more dangerous. That makes it more dangerous. Like you could have a grizzly bear that loves you. He didn't want to hurt you, but he could easily kill you because he can't help it.
Yeah.
So, he would come and go as far as sobriety goes. He was always present. And the kids witnessed, particularly the oldest one. He was like sheltering the babies. But he'd go to rehab, and it'd be great, and then he'd fall. And then he'd go to rehab, and they'd be great, and then he'd fall. Meanwhile, there's also arrest happening, or he'd show up, pick them up from school while I was at work, and not come home until 10 o'clock at night, and this was before cell phones. And I'd be freaking out, and here he comes drunk with our kids. It's like, come on, this is awful. But I just kept, I was really trying to make it work. Meanwhile, I was about 600 miles away from my hometown. We were living up in the mountains.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Northern California, up in Nevada County.
So then it's even more isolation out there.
It was very isolating, and because we lived in the mountains, we had guns. And You know, big guns, long guns, little guns. You know, we had guns. You'd be foolish to live in the mountains without a gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, the night the guns came out, we left, and we didn't go back. And we went into a shelter that was funded through the Social Services and Salvation Army. If not for the shelter, I do not know what I would have done. I don't know. I know I didn't tell mom and dad about what was going on. You know, they were so far away, and you know, in hindsight, I realized that was kind of a dumb decision. It was very much, but I was just, you know, trying to be an adult and just do the right thing. You know.
Yeah, that's what you felt you had to do.
Right. So, it was snowing. It was the winter, right before Christmas, and we're in this shelter. And it was a retired hotel. And the plan was, I left a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, fully furnished. The kids had a few things. I grabbed their gifts from under the tree and took them with us. I needed to get the restraining order. I needed to get, you know, custody. I needed to get the house in order. I needed a permanent living. You know, there's things I needed. The it was called Manzanita Center.
Manzanita Center.
Manzanita
Yeah.
Family Center. And
And
when
that was over there?
yes, it's in
Okay.
Nevada County. And when I went in there and knocked on the door and said, I really need help, and I gave them the circumstance, they made room for me right away. And we got a little hotel room for the whole family. And the plan was for me to stay there for 3 months. My paychecks, because I was employed, and I had a career, they would bank it, they would match it, right? They would help me replace my furnishings. There was legal services available for me,
Yeah.
some legal aid resources, you know, in this little tiny office. The conditions there were conditions, accountability. I had to go to work every day, no problem. I had a job.
Yeah.
I got the kids to school every day. You know, there was housekeeping things. You know, like we had our own cupboard, we had our own time in the kitchen. You know, because there was 20 other families living there. Everybody had an issue.
Were you getting some kind of like counseling,
Yes.
therapy? Okay, good.
I
Just curious.
Yeah, we did have counseling
that
for the
helped?
kids. It helped until we had a mass shooting at the mental health facility in Nevada County.
When
And yeah,
the facility?
at the facility in Nevada County, and at the Lions Restaurant, which was across from our old house, and that was really rough.
And
that
okay,
was really
so
rough.
you were there.
We were, while all this is going on, you know, I have the middle son and the baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying. They
everyone-
were all
and
there?
they
Your
were-
whole
they-
family was with you?
Well, they had been going to this
Yeah.
place and
Yes.
having their hour, you know, their play therapy and stuff.
Right.
And I'm at work. They're in school. We get these notices on our phone. It's on lockdown.
Yeah.
Schools are on lockdown. This guy, he just shot up a restaurant. Now he just shot up the mental health facility.
Yeah.
And we're looking for him. Everybody stay in place. And it's like, what the hell, right? So
Wow.
their therapist was murdered. And so in Manzanita, we all knew what was going on. And so we had this deflection where we, you know, it wasn't just theirs. You know, there were some other kids there. So we adapted. We gave the kids a chance to, you know, we just had to segue into something else. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get out of Nevada County with these
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
and I wasn't going to do it without a piece of paper saying I had sole custody.
Yeah.
Because I know I
Run
it
into
was so
something else
predictable.
later.
Yeah, I knew it was too predictable.
Yeah.
And that I went back to mom and dad's house while I was staying there. I stayed there for 3 months for a birthday, and that's, you know, I told them, hey, I've left Kevin, and we are, you know, I got to come home. I got to come home. This is, his drinking's out of hand. And, yeah, of course, come home, Ronnie. Come home, Ronnie, right?
I just for I don't know, just to kind of hear, just to know the part of the story. How many years did you before you left?
Oh, before I left,
Yeah.
I married him in 1989, and we had our first child in '88. I met him in '85, 80, yeah, 85, 86, 85, 86,
And then you left.
I left him in 2001, and we had already had 3 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's quite a stretch right there.
yeah,
of everything.
it was quite a stretch.
But I'm gonna say this once again. It's crazy, but you and him created some amazing young men.
They are.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
They
These
are.
crazy things happen. It's not right. I hope that I hope that
They still have some. They have some very good qualities from their
Yeah.
father.
Yeah.
There is an awareness for nature and our relationship with animals as human beings. We're not just dogs or having a cat. I mean, there's a relationship to all living things that
Yeah.
their father really nurtured, and a sense of well-being that you can find in nature that he taught them. It's like, okay, we're going to go fishing. I'm bored. There's nothing to do. It's like, what you can do
Yeah.
is just listen to the water run.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, now listen, is that a tree rustling or is that, what are you hearing? So he was, there are qualities there. So, and they got good genes because they're all just so handsome. But when we moved back home, my mom and dad came in to help emotionally. And Grammy was a big part of raising these kids.
God bless grandmas and
Yeah.
grandpas, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
very
reals.
much so. The intergenerational influence is still evident today.
Well, heck, I mean that's how it always should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're elders. We get the most wisdom out of them.
Right.
We could go through a lot of dumb stuff, or we could learn from them.
Right. And when we moved back down to Lompoc, there was extended family that they were benefiting from.
Of course.
They had,
the aunties, the uncles,
yes,
cousins.
they had a cousin that, I had a boy. I had kids in 88, 91, 93. Their cousin was born in 89, another boy. So I had these 4 boys, and it was like puppies in a box. It was, it was fun, and it was crazy, and it was chaotic. And Grammy loved it. She loved it, and she would bitch and bellyache about him. Because that's her nature. But she always made sure they ate. There was nothing worse than someone calling Grammy from I'm at work, and one of the rules as a working woman with 3 kids was you get home from school, nobody in, nobody out. You come in and you stay in the house, nobody in, nobody out. That's it. Because I was a kid. I know what's up. Mom's not going to be home until 6. Let's do this. I mean, if I could have had cameras in the house, I would have done it. I did lean on them pretty hard. But, like one of them would call and say, Grammy, there's nothing to eat. There's food. Okay, go make yourself a sandwich. There's food. But here comes Grammy. She, and I come home and it's like they're unloading groceries and it's like, Mom, there's, and I'm looking at him, it's like, come on, Michael, you didn't have to really do that, And we had another one that would go to her house after work, or not after work, but after school. And, as soon as she'd come in, they'd get a sandwich and watch TV, and she'd take a nap. But there'd be, it was a blessing to have her be part of our routine.
Oh yeah. I really miss my grandmas. They were so intricate to the family structure.
Well, you could probably see shades of your mom in
Oh,
Grandma.
huge.
It's
Always,
like-
always.
it's like,
The
oh,
eyes.
so that's where that's why she okay. That's where that came from. Okay, and my dad was a different man than he was with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? He let you eat in the car? What is that?
Man on the road.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, he didn't let us eat anything, and he let you go in his stereo room because my dad had a stereo room.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't. No, I ain't going in there. But
Well, it's funny the whole talk about sound, music, and like I
Yeah.
said, one of your sons is really big into music.
yes, he's
Yeah,
very gifted,
I'm
yeah.
sure there's once again relations between grandpa's it was a radio room, stereo room. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. He had a stereo room. It's funny when you walk into it. It was an extension to the house, and it had like these accordion doors. You walk in, and there's two chairs, recliners, sitting in the middle of the room with a table between them, and everything else is like components, and it was really weird. But that was his thing.
That sounds super cool.
If you can do it, go for it.
Yeah,
And-
that's where we'd be podcasting in that room if we could back then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. And he would, that's interesting. I haven't thought about this in a while, but when it was like time for dinner, he didn't like a lot of people sitting around talking, on the daily, and he always had music going, and he'd say, that's a trumpet. Listen. That's a bassoon. Listen. And he did the same thing to me.
Uh-huh.
And music is very powerful. And all of them, I always had music in the house. All kinds of music.
Yeah.
You didn't know if you're going to get Hank Williams or Nina Hagen. You don't know.
Right. Just the whole mix. It's all music.
It's music. Although they knew it was cleaning day when I put on some Erykah Badu. And it's like,
That inspires more motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just easy to clean too, and it was soothing, and it's like, okay, this wall's not coming clean, but I'm not going to get angry because I'm listening to some good neo soul.
Something you would like to tell the generations from what you have learned from your work and continue doing your work. What is something that you would like to see? I don't know, thoughts, ideas?
I don't want to sound preachy, but this is something I do want to say. Expectations will always disappoint you. And you're not a victim of circumstance. You can be a victor of circumstance. Life doesn't go the way you want them to, and things that happen to you do not have to make you who you are. What makes you are the things that you make happen. And I am very proud of my sons.
Yes.
And I've held this belief because I had IX as when you're raising kids, you can only reference your experience as a child and how you were raised. And there was such a high expectation, especially academically for me, and I really fell short. I just hated school. I went to like 5 high schools. I just hated them so much.
Why do you think that is? Is it because the schools that they were failing you? Is what I'm thinking. I mean, I've heard that a lot. When people, I mean, even me, family members that I've heard like school didn't help me. And I was lucky. I met some key random teachers or counselors or.
I personally think I may have had an undiagnosed learning disability because I was bored.
Yeah.
I was bored out my gourd. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, are you sitting there talking? Just give me the assignment. Just let me go. There's the sun shining. I want to go outside.
Yeah. But as you got older, you found your ways. So that's why I'm like, they were also not helping you find your way.
I always knew I was smart.
Yeah. See?
And that goes back to the creativity equals intelligence, curiosity. And, that's how you get into being intelligent. Curiosity. I want to understand how this works. I want to figure this out.
Yeah.
That makes that's how you get there.
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is that I never expected these guys to come home with trophies, straight A's. I just wanted them to be good people and just make the world a better place. Your place in this world is to make it better. And so often I'd drop them off and say, hey, make someone smile today. Make someone smile today. Because they're so moody. Oh, my. Jeez, kids are moody. So, you just try to turn it around so they can, they're compelled to do something positive. You aren't the things that happen to you. And you are the things that you make happen. And, all my sons are the examples of that. They do things that really reflect their identity. Like, I have a son that's in this shop, like, all the time. And I look around and it's like, yep. Yep,
That's his world.
That's who he is, because they're all so distinctly different. 3 different ones.
But isn't that great, though?
Oh, yes. You
don't want them all the same.
No. I have. You have one baby that could sleep through a marching band, and you have another one that wakes up if you belch. We have one that's very orderly. He keeps everything. It's just that's his. He'll stand there in the kitchen while he's talking to you, and he's like straightening things while he's talking to you
automatically.
And there's others that will walk through chaos and not even notice that it's chaotic.
But that's their inner peace still going through it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just we're all built different.
Yeah.
And they're all built different.
All serve our purpose.
Yeah, and I just hope none of them have given me grandchildren yet. But I'll wait. That's okay. The youngest, we had a guest today from out of town. Childhood friend that I've known this young man since he's not so young anymore. But I've known him since he was in middle school, since he was like in 7th grade. And he's, watched the littlest, my youngest son, come up.
Yeah.
And this little pudgy kid with braces coming up. And we were talking about Raging Against the Machine in the living room, and he was a teenager at the time.
Yeah.
And he says, he looked at Stephen, he goes, he's going to fight it from within the system. He's going to bring it down from within. He's going to be the fire in the house. And he was just like, just talking mess, And it's like, now my youngest son is the chair of the county party. And he's so involved, and
That's awesome.
He's pulled me along.
Yeah.
I do my own work. I do my own thing. But, we swim the same circles.
Yeah. And different parts of it.
Different parts of
Yeah.
it. And for years now, we've been in this long enough here locally and statewide, actually. People knew that, we're related. But for years, they did not. And there was, that was always a fun reveal. It's like, wait, you're his mother?
Yes.
It's like, yeah.
Ta-da.
Yeah. It's like, wait, that's your mom? It's like, yes, it is. It's just, I hope that I am a good example for them.
You are. You're definitely
so.
a good example. Not only you've been proven to be an amazing mom. I mean, like I said, I've known them, a couple of them, for a little while, and once again, since day one, I was really impressed with all the way they work with people,
Right.
and second, their passion for what they like.
Right.
And their
right.
skills, their skill levels. That's something that you could tell that they're somewhere in their parenting. They really allowed them to grow that way.
Right.
And that's why we have you here today, because I think that you're great.
That.
You're a great example of a single mom doing her best, getting I didn't even know some of those stories that you had just mentioned about your significant other. I didn't know any of that.
He was my husband.
Yeah.
That was my husband. And
I
I
just
don't
didn't
mind saying
want
to
to mention them, but yeah.
when it's
And that's heavy stuff. And actually, I'm kind of curious. Like, how did you heal from that? Was it the therapy? Was it was it time?
dude, I'm still healing
That's what
from that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's I have moved past it. I know that we'll never get back together. I even tried a couple of times to like,
bet.
okay, here I have another window of opportunity. Maybe this time it'll stick.
Maybe it'll stick.
And it just it's not going to. It's just not going to.
Well, let's just say, and that's also you. That's also love. That's the love. You know what I mean? And love's a great thing. You know.
Right.
But no, I mean, it still is a story of triumph. And go ahead, finish your thought. You were saying.
Well, I've moved on. I've had boyfriends, and I live a full life. I don't feel like I'm missing. I don't feel like I need to have a plus one whenever I go to a wedding or something. But I do. I was there was. Let me. Can I give you an example real quick?
Of course.
I was going to a doctor. We were doing the evaluation, and I had experienced some weight loss, unplanned weight loss. You wouldn't know it now, but yeah, I had. And he says, "What's going on?" And I go, "Well, I just found out I'm sick, because I have multiple sclerosis. I don't mind saying so. And I'm a good example of proper therapy. I'm doing good.
Good.
But this was part of that, and I told him I lost my career is stalled. I'm sick. My future's uncertain. I've got 3 kids, and I've lost my husband. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I said, No, wait a minute. He's not dead." The way I said it. And I explained it to the kids like this.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it came from. It just fell out of my mouth. There was a particular night. One of them was really sad about his dad.
Hold on a
And I
second.
said,